Many times when we think about changing our lives, we imagine something grand, a decisive moment, a dramatic turning point, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But over the years, after observing those who truly thrive, I realized something fascinating. It's not the big decisions that make the biggest difference, but rather the small daily habits. True transformation doesn't happen suddenly, like a lightning strike. It is silent, subtle, built day by day. It's those small choices we make when no one is watching, the habits we repeat without even noticing, that shape our destiny. And the most incredible part? When the right habits accumulate, the results are exponential, far greater than any instant change could ever provide. Now stop and reflect. What if your life could completely change just by adopting 10 small habits? It sounds too simple, doesn't it? Tiny adjustments, almost unnoticeable in your routine, but over time, they have the power to shape a future that now seems distant. Success does not depend on luck. It is not a stroke of genius. It is born from consistency, from the discipline to do what needs to be done, even when no one is watching, even when there is no applause. The good news? You don't need to wait for anything or anyone. You can start now, exactly where you are, with the resources you already have. You might be thinking, but Jack, I don't have time to read every day. And I tell you, it's not a matter of time, but of priority. Reading is not just entertainment. It is a gateway to new worlds, new ideas, new opportunities. Every book is a shortcut to decades of experience from someone who has already walked the path before you. Imagine, in just a few hours of reading, you can absorb lessons that took someone else years of trial and error to learn. Isn't that amazing? Knowledge accumulates like compound interest. The more you read, the more your mind expands, and the more prepared you will be to see and seize opportunities. But here's the secret: don't just read anything. Your time is valuable, so choose books that challenge you, make you grow, and bring you closer to the future you want to build. Biographies of great leaders, business strategies, personal development. Feed your mind with powerful ideas. Remember, what you read today determines what you will be able to see tomorrow. Want to change your life? Start by changing what you put into your mind. Make reading a non-negotiable habit, and watch how your mindset, your decisions, and ultimately, your reality transform before your eyes. Many people believe that success is a grand event, a magical moment that changes everything overnight. But I have learned that true success is built in the details, in the repetition of small, daily habits. You don't need to take a giant leap to change your life. You just need to take a small step every day. The problem is that most people give up before they see results. They underestimate the power of daily progress. But let me tell you something. Consistency always beats talent. If you look at my story, you'll see that I wasn't born into a wealthy family, I didn't go to the best universities, and I failed many times. But one thing I never stopped doing was learning and improving a little every day. The secret lies behind the scenes, in the moments when no one is watching. What do you do when there's no applause? How do you use your free time? These small habits define who you will become. As I often say, if not now, when? If not me, who? If you are facing difficulties, know that you are not alone. Everyone who has achieved something significant has been through this. The difference between those who win and those who stay behind is not the absence of failure, but how they deal with it. When you learn to see failure as an ally, success will just be a matter of time. People think that great entrepreneurs wake up every day full of energy, with brilliant ideas and an unstoppable desire to work. That is not true. Most days, work needs to be done without any inspiration. I remember moments in Alibaba's early days when there was no progress, only uncertainty. But I learned early that if you want to grow, you need to do what must be done, not just what you feel like doing. Amateurs wait for inspiration to knock on the door, while professionals know that success comes from consistency. Real progress happens on ordinary days when you commit to taking action regardless of your mood. When someone asks me how I managed to build an empire, my answer is simple. Every single day, without exception, I worked on my goal. The secret is not in occasional enthusiasm, but in daily discipline. If you look at any successful person, you'll see that the difference is not in intelligence or luck, but in the ability to keep going when no one else wants to continue. Hard work always beats talent when talent is not willing to work hard. There will be days when you won't see immediate results, but those days are exactly what separates dreamers from achievers. Many people fail because they spend too much time waiting for the right moment, that spark of motivation. But what if that spark never comes? What if instead, fatigue, doubt, or laziness appear? Will you stop? Consistent work creates results, and results create motivation. It's a cycle. First, you act. Then, inspiration follows. Not the other way around. I observed successful people, studied their habits, and absorbed as much knowledge as possible. That's when I discovered something powerful. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, you just have to learn from those who have already made it. We live in the information age. Today, you can access knowledge anytime, anywhere. But what do I see? Most people spend hours distracted on social media, consuming irrelevant content, while only a few are truly learning something valuable. If you want to succeed, you need to turn learning into a daily habit. Pick up a book, listen to a podcast, analyze great leaders. The difference between those who thrive and those who fall behind lies in how they use their time. If you want to change your life, start by changing what you feed your mind. One of my favorite phrases is, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. In other words, the world will not adapt to you. You have to adapt to the world. If the market changes, learn new skills. If a plan fails, seek new strategies. Growth comes from constantly reinventing yourself. The biggest mistake someone can make is believing they already know enough. Winners never stop learning. And now the question is, are you investing your time in things that truly make you grow? I have always believed that the clarity of your goals determines the quality of your results. Vague goals lead to uncertain outcomes. If you want success, you must define exactly where you want to go and how you plan to get there. Most people dream, but very few actually set precise goals. Dreams remain fantasies until they are broken down into clear, actionable steps. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Successful people know exactly what they are working towards. A well-structured plan guides your daily actions. Every major achievement starts with small, consistent steps. When I built Alibaba, I didn't just say, I want a big company. I had specific goals for each phase, from reaching small business owners to expanding globally. Every day, I knew what needed to be done next. Without a clear direction, you are like a boat lost at sea, drifting without control. You might move, but you won't get anywhere meaningful. The power of goals lies in their ability to turn abstract dreams into measurable realities. If your goal is just to be successful, that's not enough. What does success look like to you? Is it financial freedom? Is it building a business? Is it impacting lives? Be specific. The clearer your vision, the easier it is to take action. When you define your goals, write them down. Studies have shown that people who write their goals are significantly more likely to achieve them than those who just think about them. Another mistake people make is setting goals that are too distant or unrealistic. Your goals should challenge you but also feel achievable. Instead of saying, I want to be a millionaire, start with, I want to save $5,000 this year. Instead of saying, I want to be an expert in my field, commit to reading one book per month. The key is to build momentum. Success is a series of small wins that accumulate over time. When you have clear goals, you don't waste time. You wake up every morning knowing what needs to be done, and most importantly, you stay motivated because you can see the progress. So ask yourself, are your goals clear? Do you know exactly what you need to do next? If not, it's time to start defining them now. One of the most valuable lessons I've learned is that your environment has a direct impact on your success. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you surround yourself with negative, unmotivated people, they will slowly pull you down. But if you spend time with ambitious, driven individuals, their mindset will push you forward. Success is not just about what you do, it's also about who you choose to be around. I have always been careful about the people in my circle. When I started Alibaba, I wasn't the smartest person in the room, and I didn't have all the answers. But I surrounded myself with people who complemented my weaknesses. I found partners who shared my vision, people who inspired me and pushed me to grow. If I had stayed around those who doubted me, I would have never built Alibaba. Your relationships can be either a ladder or an anchor. Some people will lift you up, and others will drain your energy. That's why I always tell young entrepreneurs, choose your friends and mentors wisely. If you want to succeed, find people who are already where you want to be. Learn from them, absorb their habits, and let their mindset influence yours. Growth is contagious, but so is stagnation. One mistake I see often is people trying to succeed while keeping toxic influences in their lives. If your environment is full of negativity, fear, and doubt, it will be extremely difficult to maintain a success mindset. You must actively create an environment that supports your goals. This might mean changing the people you listen to, the content you consume, or even the places you spend time in. Success is a team effort. No one reaches the top alone. Build a network of people who challenge you, support you, and push you forward. The question is, are the people around you helping you grow, or are they holding you back? If you want to change your future, start by changing your environment. Before founding Alibaba, I was rejected over and over again. I applied for jobs and got turned down more than 30 times. Even KFC rejected me. When I finally started my own business, I faced countless obstacles. But I learned something powerful. Rejection is not the end. It's just part of the journey. The people who win in life are not the ones who never fail, but the ones who refuse to give up. Failure is a great teacher in disguise. Every time I failed, I learned something new. Instead of seeing rejection as a sign to stop, I saw it as proof that I needed to improve. Most people fear failure, but the real danger is not trying at all. The world is full of talented people who never succeed simply because they gave up too soon. If you can persist when things get tough, you are already ahead of most people. Resilience is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Many give up after one or two failures, but success demands patience and perseverance. Alibaba almost collapsed multiple times, but we kept moving forward. If I had quit after the first difficulty, there would be no Alibaba today. The biggest difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they react to failure. Life will test you. There will be moments when you feel like giving up. But I always tell people, when you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. If you have a vision for your future, failure won't break you. It will make you stronger. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. The world belongs to those who refuse to quit. If you want to achieve great things, you must develop mental resilience. The only way to fail is to stop trying. So when the next obstacle comes, ask yourself, will you let it stop you, or will you use it as fuel to push forward? One of the greatest lessons I've learned is that success is not just about what you achieve. It's also about how you see the world. Gratitude is a mindset, a habit, and a tool for success. Most people focus on what they don't have, constantly chasing more without appreciating what they already possess. But I discovered something powerful. When you focus on what you have, you attract even more opportunities. In the early days of Alibaba, we faced endless challenges. We had no money, no resources, and no certainty that our company would survive. But I was grateful for my team, for every small victory, for every lesson learned. Instead of complaining about what we lacked, we focused on what we could do with what we had. And that made all the difference. If you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It makes you see opportunities where others see obstacles. Whatever you focus on grows. If you focus on problems, your life will feel full of difficulties. But if you focus on solutions, new paths will open up. Successful people train their minds to appreciate progress, no matter how small. They don't wait until they are rich, famous, or at the top to feel grateful. They practice gratitude daily, and that fuels their growth. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it's a practice. Take time every day to reflect on what is working in your life. Appreciate the people who support you, the lessons you've learned, and the opportunities in front of you. This habit builds confidence, reduces stress, and keeps you moving forward. The most successful people I know have one thing in common. They are grateful for every step of the journey. If you want to create success, start by shifting your mindset. Train yourself to see abundance instead of lack, opportunities instead of obstacles. The question is, are you focusing on what you have or what you don't? Because the answer will determine the life you build. Many people think success is about working harder than everyone else, but I've seen too many people work 14-hour days and still get nowhere. Why? Because effort without strategy is wasted energy. Hard work is important, but smart work is what truly makes a difference. If you only focus on working harder, you will burn out. If you focus on working smarter, you will multiply your results. In the early days of Alibaba, I didn't have the most advanced technology or the biggest team, but I knew how to maximize our efforts. We didn't compete with giants like eBay by trying to be bigger. We found ways to be different. Instead of focusing on what we lacked, we focused on what we could do better. Success isn't about who works the longest hours. It's about who makes the best decisions with their time. The key to working smart is prioritization. Not everything deserves your attention. Many people stay busy, but achieve little because they focus on the wrong tasks. I always ask myself, what is the one thing that will have the biggest impact? If you identify and focus on the most valuable tasks, you'll achieve more in less time. Success is not about doing more. It's about doing what truly matters. Another mistake people make is thinking they have to do everything alone. I was never the smartest person, but I surrounded myself with smart people. Delegation and collaboration are crucial. If you try to do everything yourself, you limit your growth. The greatest leaders are not those who do the most, but those who empower others to do their best. Time is the most valuable resource you have. If you waste it, you lose opportunities forever. The question isn't just, am I working hard? But am I working on the right things? If you learn to work smarter, not just harder, your success will come faster than you ever imagined. Most people fear failure so much that they avoid taking risks. But here's the truth. Failure is not your enemy. Stagnation is. I have failed more times than I can count, but each failure taught me something valuable. The faster you fail, the faster you learn. The people who succeed are not the ones who never fail, but the ones who adapt quickly and keep moving forward. When I started Alibaba, I had no experience running a company. Many of my early ideas failed, but instead of being discouraged, I saw failure as feedback. Every mistake was a lesson. Instead of spending years trying to make something perfect, I tested ideas quickly. If they worked, I improved them. If they failed, I moved on. The sooner you fail, the sooner you find what truly works. The biggest mistake people make is being too afraid to start. They wait for the perfect plan, the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions, but those never come. The world moves fast, and those who hesitate get left behind. If you spend years planning but never execute, you learn nothing. It's better to take action, make mistakes, and adjust as you go. Some of the most successful companies in the world are built on failure. Thomas Edison tested thousands of materials before inventing the light bulb. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company before returning to make Apple a global success. The lesson: failure is not permanent unless you quit. The faster you embrace failure, the faster you grow. Most people see failure as the end, but I see it as the beginning of success. The question is, are you willing to fail fast, learn quickly, and keep moving forward? Because those who do are the ones who ultimately win. One of the greatest lessons I've learned is that the more you share, the more you grow. Many people believe that knowledge should be kept as a secret weapon, but I have found that true success comes from sharing what you know. When you teach others, you reinforce your own understanding, build strong relationships, and create a legacy that lasts beyond your own achievements. At Alibaba, I always encouraged my team to share ideas and insights. Why? Because when knowledge flows, innovation happens. The most successful people I know don't just learn for themselves, they help others learn too. The more value you give, the more opportunities come back to you. Business, like life, is not just about taking, it's about contributing. Some people fear that sharing their knowledge will create competition, but I see it differently. When you help others grow, you create an ecosystem of success. The world is not a zero-sum game. There is no limit to opportunities. There is only a limit to how much you are willing to give and receive. Teaching forces you to clarify your thoughts and deepen your expertise. The best way to master something is to teach it. That's why I always encourage my employees, my students, and my partners to share what they know. The more you explain something to others, the better you understand it yourself. If you want to create lasting success, start by sharing. Help someone who is just starting. Mentor those who are struggling. Teach what you have learned. Because in the end, the knowledge you share is the knowledge that will truly make a difference. Success is not just about making money or achieving personal goals. It's about the impact you have on others. When I started Alibaba, my goal was never to be the richest man in China. My goal was to create something that would help small businesses, something that would last beyond my lifetime. True success is measured by the difference you make in people's lives. Many people spend their lives chasing wealth, status, and power, only to realize later that these things don't bring lasting fulfillment. What really matters is the legacy you leave behind. Will people remember you for what you took or for what you gave? Will your work continue to inspire and help others even after you're gone? These are the real questions that define a meaningful life. At Alibaba, I always reminded my team that we were building something bigger than ourselves. We were not just creating an e-commerce platform. We were empowering millions of entrepreneurs to grow their businesses. When you focus on creating value for others, success follows naturally. The most respected leaders in history are not those who accumulated the most, but those who gave the most. Legacy is not just for billionaires or business leaders. Everyone leaves a legacy, whether they realize it or not. The way you treat people, the knowledge you pass on, the impact you have on your community. These things matter. You don't have to be famous to leave a mark on the world. Every small act of kindness, every lesson shared, every person helped contributes to the story you leave behind. In the end, success is temporary, but impact is eternal. What are you doing today that will be remembered tomorrow? The true measure of your life is not what you achieve for yourself, but what you do for others. And that is the kind of success that truly lasts. I believe persistence is the single greatest factor that separates success from failure. The world is full of talented, intelligent people who never reach their full potential simply because they give up too soon. It's not about being the smartest or the luckiest. It's about who can keep going when things get difficult. The truth is, every great success story has moments of deep struggle. When I founded Alibaba, we faced failure countless times. There were moments when we had no money, no support, and no clear path forward. Most companies would have collapsed under the pressure, but we refused to quit. I always tell people, the real failure is giving up. Every obstacle is temporary, but the moment you quit, it becomes permanent. Persistence requires belief, not just in your idea, but in yourself. Many people start with excitement, but when challenges come, they lose confidence. They think, maybe this is not meant for me. But success doesn't work that way. The road to success is full of rejection, setbacks, and doubts. If you push through, you will find a way forward. If you quit, you will never know how close you were to winning. One of the biggest myths is that successful people had it easy. That's never true. Every entrepreneur, every leader, Every innovator has faced failure. The difference is they didn't stop. They kept learning, adapting, and moving forward. The ones who persist long enough are the ones who eventually succeed. So when things get tough, and they will, ask yourself, are you going to be the person who gives up or the one who keeps going? Because in the end, those who never stop walking are the ones who reach their destination. One of the biggest obstacles to success is not a lack of talent, resources, or opportunities. It's fear. Fear of failure paralyzes people, preventing them from even trying. But here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. The only real failure is refusing to take action. Every time you let fear stop you, you are giving up on an opportunity to grow. I have failed more times than I can count. I failed my university entrance exams 3 times. I was rejected from dozens of jobs, even KFC. But every failure taught me something. Instead of seeing rejection as proof that I wasn't good enough, I saw it as a lesson. Every no brought me closer to a yes. If I had let fear control me, Alibaba would never exist today. Most people never take risks because they are too worried about what others will think. They fear embarrassment, criticism, or looking foolish. But let me ask you, will those people pay your bills? Will they build your dreams for you? No. The moment you stop caring about other people's opinions, you gain the freedom to take action. The most successful people in the world are not those who never fail, but those who never let failure stop them. The secret is to fail fast and learn even faster. The earlier you make mistakes, the sooner you can fix them. The biggest regret people have is not the times they failed, but the times they never tried. At the end of your life, you won't remember the small failures. You'll remember the chances you didn't take. So, stop waiting for the perfect moment. It will never come. Start now. Take risks. Make mistakes. Learn from them. Because the only way to guarantee failure is to never try at all. One of the greatest lessons I've learned is that real opportunities exist where most people are afraid to go. If you only do what everyone else is doing, you will only achieve what everyone else has. The biggest breakthroughs happen when you step into areas that others avoid. The greatest rewards are found in the places where most people are too scared or too lazy to explore. When I started Alibaba, everyone told me I was crazy. The internet was new in China, and no one believed in e-commerce. Big companies ignored it, and small businesses didn't understand it. But I saw something different. I saw an opportunity. While others doubted, I took action. That's why Alibaba succeeded. We went where others wouldn't. Most people look for easy paths, but success is rarely found there. If something is difficult, it usually means there's less competition. While others complain about problems, successful people see solutions. Every great innovation in history started with someone willing to do what others wouldn't. If you want to stand out, stop following the crowd. Look for the gaps, the ignored markets, the challenges no one wants to face, because that's where the real value is. The world doesn't need more people doing the same things. It needs people who think differently, who take risks, who solve problems others ignore. If you always follow the traditional path, you will always be limited by traditional results. The greatest entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators are those who dared to break the pattern. So ask yourself, are you playing it safe, or are you stepping into the unknown? Because the biggest opportunities in life don't come from following, they come from leading. One of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting for the perfect moment. They say, I'll start when I have more money, or I'll take action when I have more experience. But let me tell you something, the perfect moment never comes. If you keep waiting, you will spend your whole life waiting. The best time to start is now, with what you have, where you are. When I started Alibaba, I had no money, no advanced technology, and no connections. If I had waited for everything to be perfect, Alibaba would not exist today. We didn't have the ideal conditions, but we had vision, determination, and the courage to start. Success is not about having everything ready. It's about starting and figuring things out along the way. Many people believe they need to feel ready before they take action. But the truth is, no one ever feels completely ready. You grow by doing. You learn by trying. You improve by failing and adjusting. The most successful people in the world didn't wait until they had all the answers. They started before they felt prepared. Opportunities don't wait. The longer you hesitate, the more chances you miss. The world moves fast, and those who take action get ahead. While others are still thinking, debating, and making excuses, the doers are already learning, improving, and progressing. Success favors those who take initiative, not those who wait for permission. So, stop overthinking. Stop making excuses. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect. The only way to get closer to your dreams is to take the first step today. The question is, will you start now, or will you keep waiting for a future that never comes? The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle is simple. Successful people focus on solutions, while others focus on problems. Many people get stuck because they see obstacles as dead ends. But in reality, every problem contains an opportunity. If you train yourself to think like a problem solver, you will never be out of opportunities. When we built Alibaba, we faced endless challenges. From lack of funding to government restrictions, every step felt like a new roadblock. But instead of complaining, we asked, how can we solve this? That mindset made all the difference. Business is not about avoiding problems, it's about finding creative solutions. If you solve big problems, you create big success. Most people let challenges discourage them. They hit a wall and stop. But problem solvers find ways around, over, or even through the wall. The key is to develop resilience and adaptability. If one strategy doesn't work, try another. If one door closes, look for a window. There is always a way forward for those who refuse to stop looking. The greatest entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators are not those who avoid problems, but those who master the art of solving them. They don't panic in difficult situations. They stay calm, analyze the issue, and find a way forward. The more problems you solve, the more valuable you become to your business, your career, and the world. So the next time you face a problem, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Instead, ask, how can I solve this? Because the people who succeed in life are not those who have the least problems, but those who learn to solve them the fastest. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that money equals success. They believe that if they just make more money, they will be happy. But I have met many rich people who are miserable. Money is important, but it should never be your only goal. If you focus only on money, you will miss the bigger picture, creating value, making an impact, and doing something meaningful with your life. When we built Alibaba, we didn't start with the goal of making billions. We started with a mission to help small businesses succeed. The money came later as a result of solving real problems. The most successful businesses in the world didn't start with money as their main goal. They started with a purpose. If you focus on creating value, money will follow naturally. The problem with chasing money alone is that it never feels like enough. You make $1,000 and you want $10,000. You make $1 million and you want $10 million. If money is your only motivation, you will always feel empty. But if your work has meaning, you will wake up excited every day, whether you are making $10 or $10 million. True wealth is not just about financial success. It's about fulfillment. It's about knowing that what you do matters. Some of the happiest people in the world are not the richest, but those who have a strong sense of purpose. If you want lasting success, don't just ask, how can I make more money? Ask, how can I solve a problem, help people, or create something valuable? So don't just chase money, chase meaning. Because when you build something valuable, the money will come. And when it does, you will have something even more important, a life that truly matters. If you are going to dream, dream big. Too many people limit themselves before they even start. They say, that's impossible, or I'm not good enough. But the people who change the world are the ones who dare to dream beyond what seems realistic. Every great achievement in history started as an idea that others thought was impossible. When I told people that Alibaba would be a global company, they laughed. They said, "You don't have money, you don't have connections, and you don't have the right background." But I didn't care. I believed in the vision, and I worked towards it every single day. Success starts in the mind. If you don't believe in your own dream, no one else will. Most people fail before they even begin, not because they lack skills, but because they lack belief. They dream small because they are afraid of disappointment, but playing it safe never leads to greatness. If you think small, you get small results. If you think big, you open yourself to big opportunities. Your mindset determines your future. The secret to dreaming big is not just having a vision, it's taking action. A dream without action is just a wish. If you want to build something great, start now. Take small steps every day. Keep learning, keep adjusting, and never stop moving forward. The world belongs to those who have the courage to chase the impossible. So ask yourself, are you dreaming big enough? Because the size of your dream will define the size of your success. And if people laugh at your dream, good. It means you're on the right track. One of the biggest financial mistakes people make is depending on only one source of income. If you only have one way to make money, you are always at risk. The economy changes, industries evolve, and unexpected challenges can arise. If you want financial security and long-term success, you must create multiple streams of income. When I built Alibaba, I didn't stop at e-commerce. We expanded into cloud computing, entertainment, logistics, and digital payments. Why? Because I knew that relying on just one industry was dangerous. The most successful people and businesses diversify. They don't put all their eggs in one basket. They create multiple opportunities for growth. Many people say, "But I have a stable job, so I'm safe." The truth is, no job is 100% secure. Companies downsize, industries shift, and automation is replacing traditional jobs faster than ever. If you only have one income stream, you are one crisis away from financial trouble. But if you have multiple sources, investments, a side business, or passive income, you are always protected. The internet has made it easier than ever to create new income streams. You can start an online business, invest in stocks, sell digital products, or offer freelance services. The key is to start small and build over time. You don't need to quit your job today, but you do need to think ahead. The people who win in the future are those who prepare today. So ask yourself, if your main source of income disappeared tomorrow, would you be prepared? If not, now is the time to start building new opportunities. Because the future belongs to those who don't just work for money, but make money work for them. If you don't love what you do, it's hard to succeed. Passion is what gives you the energy to keep going when things get tough. It's what separates those who quit from those who push forward. You can have talent, resources, and opportunities, but without passion, you won't have the drive to reach your full potential. When I started Alibaba, I wasn't thinking about making billions. I was thinking about solving a problem. I loved the idea of helping small businesses grow, and that passion kept me moving forward, even when we had no money, no support, and no certainty of success. Passion is the fuel that keeps you going when logic says to stop. Many people choose careers or businesses just for money, but that's a mistake. If you only work for a paycheck, you will lose motivation when things get hard. But if you are passionate about what you do, you will find ways to overcome any challenge. Success is a long journey. If you don't enjoy the process, you won't last. The most successful people in the world, whether in business, sports, or the arts, are not just skilled, they are passionate. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, they all had a deep passion for their work. That passion made them put in the extra effort, take risks, and innovate. Passion makes the difference between average and extraordinary. So ask yourself, do you love what you do? If not, find a way to connect your work to something meaningful. Because the people who truly win in life are those who wake up excited about what they do every day. The world is changing faster than ever. Technology, business, and society are evolving every day. If you stop learning, stop adapting, or stop improving, you will be left behind. Success is not about reaching a destination. It's about continuously growing, adjusting, and staying ahead of the curve. The future belongs to those who never stop evolving. When I started Alibaba, the internet in China was almost non-existent. Many people thought e-commerce would never work in our country. But instead of listening to the doubters, we adapted. We studied what worked in other markets, learned from mistakes, and kept improving. That's why Alibaba didn't just survive. We thrived. If you refuse to evolve, you become irrelevant. Many people believe that once they achieve success, they can stop learning. That's a dangerous mindset. The biggest companies in history have failed because they didn't evolve. Blockbuster ignored Netflix. Nokia ignored the iPhone. Kodak ignored digital cameras. If you are not constantly improving, someone else will come and take your place. The key to long-term success is curiosity and adaptability. The most successful people are always asking, what's next? What can I do better? How can I stay ahead? They invest in learning new skills, understanding new trends, and challenging themselves. They don't fear change. They embrace it. So ask yourself, are you growing or are you staying the same? The difference between success and failure in the future will not be talent or luck. It will be the ability to evolve. And those who keep improving will always find new opportunities to win. What makes Jack Ma such an inspiring figure is not just his success, but his mindset. He proves that anyone, regardless of background, education, or failures, can achieve great things if they are willing to learn, persist, and adapt. His journey is a testament to the power of resilience, vision, and an unbreakable belief in one's dreams. Success is not something that happens overnight. It is built through small daily actions, smart decisions, and the ability to keep going even when things don't go as planned. Every challenge is an opportunity, every failure is a lesson, and every moment is a chance to grow. If you apply these lessons to your life, in a few years, you will be in a completely different place. But here's the real question: will you take action? Many people watch, read, and listen to advice but never actually apply it. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is execution. Will you start building better habits? Will you challenge yourself to grow? Will you step out of your comfort zone and chase your dreams? Your future is being created by the decisions you make today. You don't need to be the smartest, the richest, or the luckiest person in the room. You just need to be the one who refuses to quit. If Jack Ma, a man who failed university exams and was rejected from dozens of jobs, could build a global empire, what's stopping you? So, the final question is, what are you going to do next? Because success is not about what you know, it's about what you do with what you know.
Jack Ma is one of the most inspiring entrepreneurs of our time. He did not come from wealth. He was not the smartest student, and he faced countless failures before building one of the largest companies in the world, Alibaba. But what made him different? His mindset, his ability to learn, adapt, and persist against all odds turned him into a global icon of success. In this powerful talk, Jack Ma shared lessons that have the potential to transform your life forever. He revealed the small daily habits that separate ordinary people from extraordinary achievers. The secret? Success isn't about luck or talent. It's about discipline, learning, and resilience. Most people fail not because they lack intelligence, but because they give up too soon. If you want to achieve great things, you need to change the way you think and act every single day. Many believe success requires giant leaps, but Jack Ma proves that it's the small, consistent steps that make the biggest difference. Whether it's developing a growth mindset, setting clear goals, or surrounding yourself with the right people, each habit he discusses is a stepping stone toward greatness. His insights challenge common beliefs and force you to question, are you doing what it takes to reach your full potential? Jack Ma also exposes the dangerous mindset that holds people back, fear of failure. He explains why failing fast is better than never trying, and how every rejection can be a lesson if you are willing to learn. He warns that waiting for the perfect moment is a trap, because the best time to start is always now. These are not just theories. They're principles he used to turn Alibaba into a billion-dollar empire. This talk goes beyond motivation. It gives you practical strategies to implement today. Jack Ma speaks about the importance of continuous learning, the power of resilience, and why money should never be your only goal. He explains why those who solve problems and share knowledge create lasting impact, while those who focus only on themselves fade into obscurity. One of the most powerful takeaways is this: success is not about avoiding problems. It's about mastering the ability to solve them. Jack Ma believes that the future belongs to those who never stop evolving. If you're not growing, you're falling behind. That's why he insists that the most important skill you could develop is adaptability. Are you ready to apply these lessons and change your life? Because what you do after hearing these insights will determine your future. Don't just listen, act. Your journey to success starts now. You now have in your hands the exact habits and principles that transformed Jack Ma's life, and they have the power to transform yours too. But knowledge alone is not enough. The real question is, will you apply it? Most people watch videos, read books, and listen to advice, but never take action. If you want real success, you need to do more than just absorb information. You need to execute. Think about it. Are you setting clear goals? Are you surrounding yourself with the right people? Are you continuously learning and adapting? Are you willing to fail, learn, and try again? These are the questions that separate those who dream from those who achieve. The difference between success and failure is simple: action. Now it's your turn. What was the most powerful lesson for you? Comment below and share your thoughts. Which of these habits are you going to start implementing today? And remember, whenever you need motivation, come back to this video and remind yourself that success is built one step at a time. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because if you don't, you might never find this content again. Hit the notification bell so you never miss another life-changing lesson. And if you want to keep learning, watch the next video. It's the perfect follow-up to take your mindset and success to the next level.